The psychic being assimilates the essence of the experience of a lifetime, then leaves behind the body, life force, and mind of that lifetime, and moves on into other lives, other experiences. However, a substantial effort has been made by the psychic being to enhance and develop the mind, life, and body while it inhabited a particular external form. Is that effort simply discarded and wasted when the psychic being moves on? Or is there some mechanism to preserve that development and progress so that it does not need to be repeated from the beginning in each successive, relatively short time frame of an individual life? When the soul takes on a new birth, it is obviously born into a society that has already dealt with and assimilated to some degree the progress of the past. We see in all fields of human endeavor that the present generation has its foundation in what has gone before and can thereby develop from that point forward. To that extent, therefore, any soul taking birth in the present time will have the benefit of the past developments that have taken place, to the extent they have been incorporated, either subtly or overtly, into the human experience, or at least to the extent they reside in the physical, vital, or mental domains that make up the earth-life interactions. The general development, what may be called the texturing of the external consciousness, is therefore available to the soul even if it does not bring with it specific and identifiable progress from a past lifetime. The formations that were developed by a specific concentration of a psychic being in a particular lifetime may be so precisely crafted as to stay with the psychic being as it traverses death and new birth, or they may be situated in the geosphere, biosphere, or noosphere of the world, and thus be available not only to that specific psychic being on rebirth, but to any others who can resonate and pick up the force of those formations. In that sense, it is not a possession of the ego personality, but a general capacity entered into the earth life in its multi-generational development and progression. The mother clarifies another aspect of this in her response to a disciple raising these issues. A disciple asks, if it is not the mind, vital or physical, which takes birth again, but only the psychic being, then the vital or mental progress made before is of no value in another life? The mother answers, quote, it happens only to the extent the progress of these parts has brought them close to the psychic. That is, to the extent the progress lies in putting all the parts of the being successively under the psychic influence. For all that is under the psychic influence and identified with the psychic continues, and it is that alone which continues. But if the psychic is made the center of one's life and consciousness, and if the whole being is organized around it, the whole being passes under the psychic influence, becomes united with it, and can continue, if it is necessary for it to continue. Indeed, if the physical body could be given the same movements of progress, and the same capacity to ascend that the psychic being has, well, it wouldn't be necessary for it to decompose. But that indeed is the difficulty. And only that which is in contact with the psychic lasts, and only what can last can remember, for the rest disappears, is again dissolved into small pieces and utilized elsewhere. As the body is dissolved again to dust and used elsewhere, it goes back to the earth. Plants use the soil. Men eat the plants. It is in this way that it goes on, and then it returns to the earth and begins again. That's the way nature progresses. In order to progress, she makes a heap of forms. Then, when that seems no longer important or necessary to her, she demolishes them, takes up all the elements again, chemical or other, and reconstitutes something else. And so it goes on changing all the time, coming and going. And she finds that very good, for she sees very far. Her work extends over centuries, and a small human life is nothing, just a breath in eternity. So she takes up, shapes. She takes a certain time. It's fun for her. She finds it very good. And then, when it is no longer so good, she demolishes it. She takes up, mixes everything, begins another form, makes something else. And so perhaps with this process, which is evidently very slow, finally the whole matter progresses. It is possible, always in this way, intermingling, breaking up, remixing, breaking up again. Essentially, it is as though one made a heap of small objects and then destroyed them, remade something from the dust, remade other toys, and again broke them, and remade others out of that. Each time one adds something so that it mixes well. And then, one day, perhaps all that will produce something. In any case, she is in no hurry. And when we are in a hurry, she says, "Why are you in such a haste? It is sure to happen one day. You don't need to worry. It will surely come. Wait quietly." Then we tell her, "But it is not I who am waiting." "Ah, that's because you call I that thing which comes and goes away. If you were to call consciousness, the one eternal and divine consciousness, if you were to call that I, then you would see everything. You would be present at everything. Nobody prevents you from doing it. It is only because you identify yourself with this, indicating the body. You have only to stop identifying yourself with that." End quote. Reference, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, The Psychic Being, Soul, Its Nature, Mission, and Evolution, Section 3, Growth and Development of the Psychic, pages 87 to 89.